Arsenal have been given a massive boost. We know there's no Premier League football for a couple of weeks now, and a few things have happened that I think definitely benefit Arsenal going forward. I also want to get people's opinions on VAR, PGMOL, because of course we had the David Coote video come out. So there's some things I want to talk about that I definitely want to get people's opinions on. So we're going to start with Martin Odegaard. The news kind of circulating the last few days was the Norway coach definitely wanted to call him up for these international set of fixtures. Like, he wanted him there 100%. He even travelled over to Norway to kind of meet with everyone. But the decision has been made for Martin Odegaard not to take part in those international friendlies. I want to get your guys' thoughts on it. Do you think this is Mikel Arteta saying to the player, you basically can't play? Like, we need you. You're such an important member of this team that we can't afford you playing for Norway and, you know, run the risk of getting injured again, because that's exactly how it played out last time around. Martin Odegaard goes away with Norway, of course, and he gets injured. And we've seen exactly how that impacts this Arsenal team. But it's not just Martin Odegaard that we kind of got a bit of good news around. Declan Rice we was worried about. Saka we was worried about. You know, they came off in the last game, and we was hoping that would maybe suggest they wouldn't go away with England. Look, I'm an England fan, of course I am, but you have to not send your best players at a time when fixtures are so important. I said in a video yesterday or the day before, I can guarantee people, Liverpool's team, Man City's team, they're not going to be sending their best players away. And since that, we've had Phil Foden pulled from England. We've had Jack Grealish pulled from England. So it was always going to happen. Like, we can't be the only team sending our players to go and play in these international fixtures and then have Liverpool rest their players, Man City rest their players. Not only rest them, but you get 2 weeks on the training ground to work on certain scenarios and certain game plans for different games coming up. And that's why I'm so happy, because we do have a core group of players. It's been mentioned a couple of times in my videos that it seems like we might be overplaying Thomas Partey recently. He's probably been our best midfielder. So I can definitely see why Mikel Arteta wants to play him so much. You know, last season he wasn't available. Well, this available anyway, because he was kind of riddled with injury. This season, so far, touchwood, he's had a good run of fixtures, and he is playing as our best midfielder. We've had Declan Rice probably not reach the heights that he did last season, but Thomas Partey's just been so consistent, and he hasn't been called up for Ghana. Apparently, there's a bit of a punishment there because he pulled out of one of the squads, and I think they're a bit annoyed with him because they didn't make the qualifications. So they said to him, like, we will pick you going forward, but for this one, we think it's best that we don't pick you. That is just good for Arsenal because, again, you've got a player who we know is injury prone, we know's older, who's played so much football this season, unusual amount of football for Thomas Partey. You get him rested for a couple of weeks. You get him the opportunity to just, I would probably say, Thomas Partey, you can have 3, 4, 5 days off now. I'm sure Mikel Arteta will have them doing some coaching, some tactical work. And it is good that we've got Saka, Declan Rice, Thomas Partey. You've got Martinelli and Jesus as well, both who didn't get called up for Brazil. So you've got a great core group of players there, all of which will be so important going forward. We know the start of this season probably hasn't been as good as a lot of us would have hoped, but like we've mentioned it before, we've played so many of our massive games. I've made a quick note here of some of the games we've played, like a lot of them away fixtures. We've got basically the most difficult games out of the way. We've played Villa away, notoriously difficult for Arsenal, Tottenham away, Man City away. We've played Liverpool at home. We've still got a clash at Anfield, which is probably our most difficult game on paper for the rest of the season, and that don't come till later in the season. So you got Liverpool at home out the way, you got Newcastle away out the way, which we've always struggled at. You got Chelsea away. We saw that in the last game. So I'm going to do a video probably tomorrow or the next day, and it's just showing our run of fixture that it just looks so favourably on Arsenal that we've got these difficult fixtures out the way. So make sure you look out for that. Make sure you're subscribed. And before I move on to the next section, I want to ask a quick favour. Can you just do me, like I said, hit like on this video? So the next thing I wanted to talk about was the refereeing, the PGMOL, VAR, whatever you want to label it, because that David Coote video come out and, you know, it is gone viral. It's all over the newspapers. It's all over the media in the UK, even around the world. Spain are reporting on it. And it's a massive deal because a lot of us, or a lot of people hold the opinion that the refs are biased or corrupt. Now, I don't hold the opinion that they're corrupt. I think they're incompetent at times. I think human nature, they probably are biased at times. Like, they always are going to support their own team. So subconsciously, they might be making decisions based on who they support or certain results that could affect their team. So I think there's always a bit of that human error. But it just shows that these referees are not perfect, like these ex-referees that like to come out and stand up for the ref, like they try to make out like these are totally impartial. These are the highest level referees who have no degree of bias. And you've seen in that video him come out and directly say he hates a club, he hates a manager, and that would impact someone's decision making unquestionably. If you kind of hold that amount of venom towards someone, there's no way it can't persuade your change your persuasion on a certain situation. We've had all the Liverpool fans come out since and show up clips of this referee in certain games, like the Man City one where there was a Rodri handball, or certain situations where he's been maybe refereeing a Liverpool game and saying, oh, he didn't get this decision, didn't get that decision. And we've obviously got a lot of opinion around these referees that people say, like you've had in the past. Mikel Oliver used to fly over to the United Arab Emirates to referee games, and we know that the vice president of that country is linked to Man City in some kind of way. So it's like you can see why people think there's biases or why they say it's corrupt, because it's kind of like it's a bit wish-washy. The fans are never in the loop. And David Coote coming out and making this video just goes to show that maybe there is a level of bias or hate towards certain clubs, because at times every club thinks, oh, the referees are against us. The VAR or the PGMOL is against us. Like David Coote, in his position, he definitely should have done it. It's something that we all do. We all go home and have conversations with our friends or our family about certain people at work or certain situations at work that you're not happy with. But I don't get why he's allowed himself to be in a position where he's being recorded and then that getting put out on the internet. Like, it is like you can blatantly see he's been drinking or whatever he's been doing. He doesn't seem in a sound state of mind. So it's just one of them situations that you're looking at and thinking it doesn't look good again on the PGMOL at a time where there is so much hate directed towards them, at a time where so many people are saying they're corrupt. It just doesn't look good. They've obviously suspended him. But I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on the whole David Coote situation. Does it make you look at refs differently? Have you always known that they kind of have this bias? Yeah, just let me know your thoughts on what you was thinking. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, if you could do me a favour, very quickly hit like on this video and subscribe. And I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.